I was going to talk a little bit about Panama. Donnie Boy's put this in the news about how he wants to take back the Panama Canal and all this sort of stuff. Let's just kind of go over maybe a short history of it. It was opened up in 1914, and we operated it as essentially part of our country, the canal part, for up until 1979, and then Carter said, well, we're going to transfer it over to the Panamanians. And they'd been pushing for it for a long time. And so he started the process in 1999. It was completely transferred over. I didn't really believe it was a good idea at the time, but I also didn't know a lot of things about what was going on there. And just give you kind of an overview of how this canal works. There's a lake between the locks. The locks go down to the ocean, and the lake is higher than the locks. So they run fresh water out of the lakes into the locks so that they can raise the ships. The ship comes in, goes into this lock, they dump water down it and it raises the ship, and it goes up high enough to get to this lake, and then the ship just travels across the lake and goes down the other side. Well, this thing was a monster headache to us when we owned it. The maintenance was incredible on it. They were constantly having to dredge and knock down the sides of it because it kept sloughing off, and there was plenty of problems. Well, if we kind of fast forward here, 2023, they had the worst drought they've ever had. Welcome Panama to global warming. That meant there was not enough water in the lakes, that lake in the center, to move the ships. Now, they could still move ships, they just couldn't move them as fast as they did before. So there's a lot of hang-ups on the canal. They could only, they had to reduce the number of ships that they could run through there. So, and I'm not sure how long this was in play, but there was an auction set up. And it made sense for this auction to be set up. When you've got a ship, let's say it's a banana boat, and you've got all these bananas on there. Well, you get hung up for, say, 2 or 3 weeks at the Panama Canal, and you got to get through the canal. You might as well dump the bananas in the ocean, because they're not any good anymore. So there's issues like that where ships would bid to get through there sooner because their cargo, or it was necessary for them to be across this thing. So the price got higher, because you see, the price on everything there is the same. Donnie Boy says, well, they was charging us extra money and all this. Well, that was not true. But there's always a little bit of truth in the things that this dingbat says. So one of those things that was truth there was these auctions. And I don't purport to know all about how they work or anything like that, but it made absolute sense. If you needed to be across that canal sooner, you'd pay more to get yourself up in the line. And other people that didn't need to get through sooner would not have to pay for it. Well, this is where I think he got this, we're paying extra and we're paying all this extra money and these guys are ripping us off. First of all, they're not ripping you off. They're taking care of the maintenance of that thing now. Not only they're just doing the maintenance, they've got to put in dams on the tributaries to that lake so that they can store water, so that this 2023 doesn't happen again. Probably will anyway, but I mean, there's a lot of things going on there. I oftentimes say this about some of these types of things. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk free? We can go through there, we pay to rent a spot in the canal. And that's more or less it. And we don't have to maintain it. We don't have to put all the money into it. I'm sure they get some aid from us for some stuff. I don't know, but there's another treaty that they signed when we did this whole thing that says if there is an issue with the canal being blocked off by a foreign power, we are authorized to bring our military in and get ships flowing through again. So we have all the good stuff we need, the security things and so on like that we need, and there's no sense for us to try to take it back. One thing, Panamanians ain't going to give it to us. And you really want to do military action to take that back? That doesn't make any sense. This is just silliness. And this guy is known for that kind of stuff. But, you know, from what I've looked at of this canal, best thing in the world, leave it alone. Don't buy the cow when you get the milk for free. That's it on this one.